Hi guys, my name is Danny Morse, and today I'm going to be talking about Gmail and how it compares to another webmail site. So first of all, I did some research on the features of Gmail, and here were some of the favorites that I had. Obviously, you're able to send and receive emails, you create labels to organize your files, which really was different from a lot of the other sites because a lot of sites used kind of like a folder organization system. Calendar and tasks was something that was new to me, which I really liked the idea of. It's directly linked to a lot of other Google programs like Classroom, Community. You can use Drive, you can use Docs and Slides. You can create email templates, send large attachments, send mail from multiple email addresses in one place, collaborate with contacts in many ways, communicate with chats, video calls, messages, hangouts, etc., create signatures and layouts to personalize email, and you can archive your messages. So Gmail is a lot like what I've seen in the other Google type sites, is that it's very well thought out. There's a lot of different features and a lot of features that I have never used before, even though I am very familiar with Gmail. So today what I want to do is I want to compare Gmail versus Outlook. The reason I chose Outlook was because it is a site that my school actually uses. It's the way the district communicates with each other, schools, teachers amongst each other, and how ultimately I communicate with parents through our system. Now we don't really have a choice through our district, so I wanted to see what it would be like if I was able to compare it to Gmail. The features of Outlook are a little bit more simple, but they still are comparable to Gmail. You're able to send and receive emails, you can create events and calendar invites, just not as technical with the tasks. You can upload files from OneDrive, create and send votes, which was something that was new I'd never seen. You can schedule your email messages so you can send them at later times. You can create folders, and they have a quick step program, which helps you to do things a little bit more easier and accessible. They have great security features, and they're accessible to Microsoft Office programs like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and so on and so forth. So what I wanted to do is create a couple little tables here that would compare different features that Gmail and Outlook have. Now, if you see on my table, if it says yes next to it, it is a feature that it has. But as I looked further into it, if you can see, I put a check mark next to the ones that I did like the most. So as far as emails and calendar and events, obviously Gmail and Outlook have them both. I actually prefer Outlook in this because Outlook I have directly on my desktop and it's very easy. And I think that I might like it a little better just because it's what I'm used to. But they both have very, very similar features in that. Tasks. Gmail has tasks. Outlook does not have something like it. They have some other similar type files, but there are no tasks on there, which obviously makes me like Gmail a little bit more than that. Organization. I think that Gmail is a little bit more organized, and you can it's a little bit more accessible as well, so you can kind of make it your own and create different ways that are more in your design. Connection to other sources. Now, this one was a little bit trickier for me because they both connect to either Google or to Microsoft Office, which are the programs that they're developed under. I use a lot of Microsoft Office. I use Microsoft Office programs, and I have, ever since I was younger. However, I am getting a lot more used to Google Docs, Google Drive, and those are sources that I've been using a lot more lately so that I can share them with others. So I've chosen that one. Ads, they both do have ads, which is unfortunate. However, with with Gmail, you're able to turn it off in a setting. And for Outlook, you actually have to pay to get it completely ad-free, which I thought was interesting. So I would go with Gmail on that one. Finally, I have a couple extras here. For storage, Gmail has more storage. You can also send bigger files through Gmail. So they have 15 megabytes compared to the 5 megabytes. Search capabilities. They both have searches that you can do. Gmail obviously is connected with Google, which is a very big search engine, so you can create advanced searches through Gmail. Outlook does have simple searches, but not as many as I would say as Gmail, and that's a really good feature for them. Security, they both have two-step verification. I put a check mark next to both because I think that's great. And instant messaging. Yes, they both do. However, Gmail is within the app, and Outlook does have instant messaging, but they use Skype. So it's actually a whole different feature that's kind of an add-on with their site. I do have some sources down below where I got my information. So as far as my conclusion goes, there's a couple different ways I'm looking at this. Emails and calendar events, like I said earlier, I actually do prefer Outlook just because that's what I'm used to for work and for school. Now, I think it would actually be different if I was communicating with students. I am a kindergarten teacher. I'm not communicating with them as much. So communicating with adults and other teachers, I have found Outlook to be more beneficial. But I think that once it would persuade me if I use Gmail a little bit more. Accessibility, I would go with Gmail. I think that's great. Office versus Classroom, Microsoft Office programs are great for an office setting for teachers, for creating things. However, for the classroom, I do think that Google is a lot better. Teachers versus students, like I said, I think that Outlook is more geared towards an office. And so communicating with my peers is a great way to use that. However, I think if I were communicating with students, I think Gmail would benefit more. And organization overall look, I think Gmail has to win on this one. So like I said, I go back and forth between the two. However, I'm going to have to give it to Gmail because there were a lot more features on my charts that I found for that. But I would say that there are still some great features of Outlook that, if I have to use it through my school, it is something that I want to get used to and also find benefits for it. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great week.